Hi, Jenna Maverick here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to crochet my newest design, the Patricia scarf. It's made with bulky and or super bulky yarn, which makes for a super comfy, cozy project. Let's just fly into it, shall we? Okay, so how I get this awesome textured scarf is actually using the technique called corner to corner crochet, and I'm going to show you how to do that here. First, you're going to make a slip knot. Ooh, almost forgot to tell you, you're going to need a crochet hook. I'm using a 9mm hook, or size M if you're in the US, but you can use any hook size you need in order to obtain gauge for this project, so it doesn't have to be exactly the one I use. Now, after your slip knot, you're going to chain 4, so there should be 5 chains total. Let's see there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And from here, you're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from hook, then double crochet in the last chain. So the first 3 chains are going to act as a double crochet. So you should have 3 chains and then 2 double crochet. And here I am showing you, there's the 3 chains, 1, 2 double crochet. And that is your first row. Now for the second row, you're going to chain 4. Again, you should have 5 chains total. Remember, you start off with a chain in the beginning. And we are again going to double crochet in the 4th chain from hook and then double crochet again in the last chain. Alright, so from here things may look a little wonky, but all we're going to do is take that first row, flip it up and away from us, and we are now going to connect the first block of the second row to the first row by slip stitching in between the double crochet and the chains. So right underneath those chains there, we're going to do a slip stitch. From here, we're going to chain 2 and double crochet twice in the same place we did a slip stitch. And that is the end of the second row. You can see it's only 2 blocks. And we're just going to keep adding to the corner. So here we go. We're going to again chain 4. This is how we add to the side. As you can see, the work that we have done is pointing down in order for us to double crochet in the 4th chain and last chain from the hook, just like we did before. And again, we're going to flip that work up and away from us, and again slip stitch underneath the chains of the second row to connect that block. Chain 2, double crochet twice in the same place we slip stitched, here's what it looks like so far. And then one more time, slip stitch underneath the next blocks, chain 3, chain 2, and double crochet twice where we put that slip stitch before. You've now finished row 3. 1, 2, 3 blocks. And that's how you corner to corner crochet. So we shall continue on this last progression with the chain 4, adding a block to both sides, double crocheting in those last 2 chains, and then flipping the work up and away from you to crochet across. Now we're going to keep doing this progression until we get to the width of the scarf. The width of the Patricia scarf is 10 blocks long. However, we are also going to be doing the candy cane stripe variation where we switch colors halfway through every 5 rows. So let's go ahead and speed things up here and get to that at the end of the last row before we switch colors. Alright, so here is the last block of the 5th row. I'm going to show you how to switch colors if you want for a candy cane stripe effect. However, if you just want solid, just one color throughout the whole scarf, you don't have to do this step. You just keep going until you get to a width of 10 blocks across. So here I am using a light pink color. Now I am actually going to take this last double crochet apart and show you how I like to join my yarn, my different colors. I like to yarn over, insert hook, bring up a loop, yarn over, bring through 2 loops, and then I grab the color that I want to start crocheting with, make a little tail, and I loop it through those last 2 loops of the double crochet to finish that double crochet off. And from there I can chain 4 and start my new row with the new color. And from here, we start all over. We flip our work up and away from us to start on the next row, which would be the 6th row. So now we're going to do this row and 4 more rows to equal 10 rows for the width. So there you have it. There's those last 5 rows to equal 10 blocks across. This is the width we want to stop at. So 5 rows white, 5 rows of pink. And now it's time to switch back to that ivory white color by using the method I showed you earlier in the video when we switched to the pink color. Finishing off that double crochet with the white. So here we're going to stop increasing on this side when we get to the bottom, but we first need to increase on the side we're on now to increase the length. So we're going to do chain 4 again, just like normal, to increase 1 block on the right side, or sorry, the left side of the scarf. And we're going to continue this row all the way down like normal. So we're going to stop the increase here. As you can see, we're not going to make another block on top of that last block because we want to keep the width of the scarf the way it is. So from here, we're going to turn our work. We're going to slip stitch in the first double crochet and the second double crochet, and in between the chain and double crochet as well, right there. And from there, we can start the next row. So we're going to chain 2 and double crochet twice underneath the chain 3 of the last block, and continue normally. Remember, you're still increasing on the left side, top side of the scarf to increase the length. You're only decreasing at the bottom right to keep the width, the 10 blocks. You're going to do that progression for a total of 65 rows. And once you get to that 65th row, we're going to close up the scarf rectangle to finish it off. So here is the beginning of row 66. It starts at the bottom right where we have stopped increasing our work already. And we are going to get to the top left here. We're going to speed this up. So here's the final block of row 66. Instead of slip stitching, then chaining 2 and creating a box on top of that white box at the end, we're not going to increase anymore. We're just going to slip stitch, turn our work, and slip stitch in the next 2 double crochet and slip stitch underneath the 3 chains of that block, chain 2, and start our row 67. And now that we're at the end of the row, we're just going to slip stitch and turn our work. We're finally closing that corner to complete this ultra long rectangle. Once you have closed that rectangle, we are then going to take our border color. I'm using a completely different color, this bright pink, to add the border around. I'm going to add the color just in the corner of the scarf with a loop, and chain 1, and then I'm going to single crochet in that same place. And I will continue to use that color to single crochet all the way around the edges. Now, the way the blocks are staggered, there aren't actual stitches for some of these places to put the single crochet. So as a rule of thumb, I am doing 2 crochet in one block space. So as you can see there, I'm kind of making up my own stitches in a way. Here, there's 2 stitches for this block here, but the next block, I'm placing my hook through a stitch, through a double crochet, in order to get the border right. And if you're doing the color work where you're switching in between the 2 colors, you are going to have tails that you need to hide. So you're simply just going to hold them down against your work and single crochet around them. You may have tails that stick out, but you can always go back at the end and snip them so they're invisible. But as long as you crochet around them, they should stay in place. So you're just going to continue to single crochet around the scarf, making sure to put 2 single crochets in each corner. And when you get to the end, make sure to slip stitch in the first single crochet so the border comes together, and then simply fasten off. And here's what it looks like finished. I used the Charisma Bulky Weight 5 yarn to make this. However, you could use even a size 6 super bulky weight yarn to make it even thicker, wider, and longer. I'm just in love with the Patricia scarf. It's so easy and comfy cozy. And hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more crochet patterns and tutorials.